Okay. So that it can be used later for others who didn't log in. Okay. Can I request Kumaran to please give a, or maybe I think Sagar should give us, he's the senior most.
Yeah, I
No,
think
no.
the last call I had actually talked about the CITA S and CITA P. So I think let Sagar go, and then I don't want to repeat myself. If others have doubts, then we can get into that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably this is my first call. If you can, if you can help me understand what is it that I should cover uh, on CTS.
Yeah, I think I should introduce a couple of our people who are online. You know Kumaran Anandan, you introduced me to him. So we have along with him Sanjay Mishra, who is also the ITABOC contributor today to ISA Global. And he has, I think, Sanjay, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. So I have around 17 years of experience, and in the recent past, I was working with PayPal for around 6-7 years, um, and was involved with their team called Site Reliability Engineering team. Uh, Before PayPal, I was working with a company called Quark, which has a product called Quark Express for publishing industry, uh, something like Microsoft Publisher uh, in the market. Uh, but- and there I worked for font technologies and print technology. There also got chance to design their font, open type font library there. Uh, and I started my career with uh, software development for phone basically. So it was at that time there was no mobile phone. I, and I developed voice mailing softwares and IVRs for various companies at that time. And that was a small startup at that time for which I was working. Uh, so this is my total experience. In terms of architecture, I had a chance to architect, as I said, the font technologies, font library there. And here inside the library engineering team, this is basically a response team, so not much leeway there. But recently we started developing software to help ourselves, because lot of when issues comes, it is very difficult to dig into things and find it out. So instead of digging ourselves manually, we started collecting data from various data points, wherever there is some log somewhere. So we started collecting those logs and putting it in one place so that we can get those logs immediately when we need. So some aspect of it is already done, but there is a lot that people are still developing there, and it needs to be done for the next few years to make it complete and do this. That's all.
Thanks, Sanjay. Madhukar, will you be able to give an introduction on yourself and meet Sagar and Kumaran? I think you have met them. They visited us in March, but not Sagar. Yeah.
Yes, I think one of them I met, not sure. So anyway, I've got around 30 years of experience in engineering team, primarily 15 years of which were still with Oracle. The rest of them with companies like ABB and Digital and Compaq and JSW in India. So primarily focusing a lot on the control systems to begin with, and then slowly getting up the IT value chain, so to speak, and currently doing a lot of business consulting within Oracle for companies who are looking at deploying Oracle solutions and trying to find the business value of what they're trying to solve, so that our products are more aligned with what problems they're trying to solve. That's basically my background, and to understand what you guys have got to say about this test, so that we can get in and quickly get to see what we can do on this.
Thanks, Madhukar. Can I request Rajan to please introduce himself?
Yes, Vinu. Mm, hey, good afternoon to all of you. I've been in this software industry for more than 18 years, starting with C++ developer, getting into various technologies, as well as tools and technologies. So mainly major of my experience is from Microsoft technologies, and currently I'm one of the principal architect in Mindtree of our central architecture group, and also most of my experience, around 13 years of experience, which is in the product engineering, and I think Mindtree is my second IT service company. You all of you know about Mindtree, right? So that's all about it. I mean, I'm interested in still trying to learn new technologies and tools. So and actually, I know about ISR only when I started thinking about doing MCA. I mean, Microsoft Certified Architect. So that time, so, but then it eventually moved out, and then I think somehow I've connected to and all these things happened. So we met, we were together in March, and then now as the next step, I would like to go to Skyers.
Thanks, Rajan. So Sagar, we also have other two persons who are not online today. One is Sachin, who is working for Fidelity, and he has about 10 years experience. He has been in financial industry, and he wants to be a part of the CITA. And we also have Shabana, who has been primarily on the quality side of it, on more on the testing, but she has got about 8 to 9 years experience and very close to business groups. So all of them have intent to do the CETA specialist. All of them have, except for I think Madhukar did attend some of the CETA F classes with Paul. However, the rest of them, Sanjay also had partaken during the network meeting. Rajan, then we have Sachin, Shabana, they have CETA F already. And we are looking forward to
Okay. Okay.
listening to the benefits of what can CITA bring on board.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Vinu. Maybe I'll introduce myself. This is good afternoon, all of you. This is Vidya Sagar. I'm dialing in from Hyderabad. I work for Microsoft. In Microsoft, I work for an entity called Microsoft Global Delivery, which is a 100% subsidiary to Microsoft Consulting Services, which again is a professional services arm to Microsoft. I have been with Microsoft Technologies even before joining Microsoft as an architect. Our overall 16 years of work experience, with 2 years being in an academic institution just before starting my career in IT while doing my master's. I am a CETA P certified professional. I got my certification in 2013 in one of my Microsoft seminars held in Redmond. I had given this board interview for CTP. We know somehow my voice is audible to myself.
No, I can. I think I can. We can hear you pretty well, Sagar.
Yep,
Okay.
it's fine. It's fine anyway.
It's okay, no problem,
Everybody
sir.
can still be good.
Sorry? Hello? Did I lose you guys?
No, you didn't lose. I just muted everybody else except me and you.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Vinu. So, and I have been in the industry primarily working on the enterprise solutions, one of which is CRM, Customer Relationship Management. I joined Microsoft in 2008, before which also was working on Microsoft technology supported vendor systems, one of which is Pivotal, which is again a CRM company. So that's about brief of my experience and what I have been and where I have been to. So about the ISA, my involvement in ISA, it started way back in 2004 when Paul had started his journey with in India on ISA. So I was in Bangalore, so I used to attend some of the sessions, more as a not as a volunteer, but as one of the attendees. And I have somewhat more inclined towards ISA body of education since then. And joining Microsoft, Microsoft has a special relationship, I would say, with ISA, and thereby I got a chance to appear for the board through the alliance whatever Microsoft has been continuing with CITA with ISA. So earlier, I think ISA used to be called International Association of Software Architect. Until recently, I heard ISA is no more should be abbreviated, but it should be called like ISA. There is no more. It's no more. It shouldn't be called like International Association of Software Architect. This I got to know when I invited Paul to visit our office last year. Not last year. I think in the month of March, I believe.
That was in
That's
March.
when
Yeah.
we invited him. Yes, in the month of March when we invited Paul, he was mentioning this, that it's no more an abbreviated word. It is ISA, is an ISA. So that's about my career and my involvement with ISA. And I'm also supporting the, the body of education, body of knowledge content. I think from India, just now I heard, and I'm also seeing some of the mails on a daily digest that I get. Sanjay, I think he's also one of the contributing member, and I'm also contributing to one of the sub-pillars in the design section. So that said, so Vinu has asked me to give a little bit information about CITA. I'm happy to present whatever the knowledge that I have on this. Vinu, is it possible to share my desktop?
Yes, yes. I will just enable that. I'll change the presenter to you.
Okay, sure.
Did you get the this thing? Somehow,
See this?
yeah, yeah. Just hold on. I think
Yeah.
when I clicked that, I muted you also. So, yeah,
Okay.
fantastic. Yeah,
I hope you can see my desktop.
maybe I can unmute.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, so actually I am trying to show one of the presentations by one of our colleagues who had recently who had recently cleared CITA, and this presentation is about his experiences with CITA and and his appreciation towards this thing. So I thought like maybe this will be a better way of presenting it rather than giving some information
Yes,
in a
fantastic,
impromptu manner.
fantastic, fantastic. Thanks, sir. Yeah.
No problem, sir. So Michal Golda is one of our senior consultants who works out of EMEA region, precisely from Poland. And he is a senior consultant, and he had recently given his board presentation on CITES in Redmond. We have a bi-yearly events in Redmond, and as part of which the board presentations for CITES and CITA-P do take place. So Michal had given his board, I think, just last year, the last September time frame, and so we asked him to present it, his experiences with the architect board, with the architect community in Microsoft. So I'm just re-airing the presentation in the better interest of the time. I don't think maybe first two slides I may not want to spend much time, but this is more like the vision of IT, the ISA, the IT architecture being more stable and as a well-recognized profession in the world. As you may know, ISA is now spread across 50 countries, and there are about 30 local chapters, and there are 8,000 members, memberships, and that membership includes some accounts as well, corporates as well. And Microsoft is one of such membership organization with ISA, and there are about 80,000 people who have been part consumer of the information. So I think, I mean, all of you are architects, so including myself. So we rather not give any definition of what is an architect and all. But the decision, the most important thing, the ISA has been founded on the principles of being a technology strategist for business, having an equal balance between the business as well as the technology that supports the business. So those are the principles on which the ISA has been built and going further and further with more momentum. Now, coming to the core part of it, as if you just a second, please. Yeah. Coming to the core part of it, how ISA has been divided, ISA has something called a foundation layer, which is more of some of the principles that help in defining the IT career of defining the IT careers for the individuals who aspire to be in IT field. So there is a fundamental shift between how ISA deals with the career of an individuals versus the likes of TOGAF or Zachman framework, which are more of a technology frameworks. Of course, they also support the business thing, but ISA is probably looked in at a different angle. It does not say that this is how you should fix the problem. Rather, this exposes ISA concentrates on some of the attributes one should possess so that that person can excel well in their career, in his or her career. So that is why the framework that ISA prescribed is more of the characteristics and the behavioral aspects towards the enabling the IT systems to for the business. So on those lines, if you see the foundation, the core of the ISA framework talks about the behaviors towards the design, human dynamics, quality attributes, IT environment, and last but not least, BTS, business technology strategy. Quality attributes are nothing but more or less like a non-functional requirements. ISA is the one who renamed the non-functional requirements into quality attributes. This is the answer from my mentor. His name is Miha Kral. He used to be in Microsoft, but now he's in AWS. But he's one of the core founders of the body of knowledge framework, working probably 4 years ago with the ISA body. So they are the ones who came up with this idea, and we are constantly working on as part of our current efforts towards upgrading this knowledge. So some of the behaviors we are trying to change it, but more or less the foundational pillars around the design, human dynamics, quality attributes, IT environment, BDS remain same. So as far as the skill taxonomy is concerned, as I mentioned, foundation is the core pillars of the system. Now, on top of the foundation, ISA also look for some specializations depending on the industry need. So as of now, the specialties look for software architecture, which is more into the design thinking and the solution solution capabilities. Infrastructure architecture, which is more of infra part like data center design or anything that deals with the scale on the quality attributes perspective. Information architecture, which is nothing but a data architect, probably like this big data scientists who spend their career most in coming out with the models around the data. That's the information architecture specialization. And then there is a business architect who is more on the lines of enterprise architect, enterprise domain. There is again, I'm just giving an update. Recently, there has been one big argument between in the within the community who's developing, who's currently working on updating the content, whether we should remove the specialization software architecture, because software architecture as such is a common across all these three parts, whereas infra, information, business are a specialized scenarios, specialized disciplines. In a particular career, software architecture should be something common, like the patterns, practices, architectural patterns, which may be horizontally cutting across, much like the foundation aspects. So this is just an information that I'm passing it to you, but this is one debatable topic. So I don't know at the end of the day whether this is going to be removed or whether it's going to be kept for some more time, but that's a discussion that we are having. So these are the specializations, and then there is a final thing is an enterprise architecture role. I do not have much information about this enterprise architecture role as such. If anybody like Kumuran or Vinu, if you have any information about it, please chime in. But
Yeah, yeah, Sagar. Actually, after you finish, maybe I can elaborate on how the ITABOC version 2 is specifically looking at these capability matrix aligned to the role.
sure, okay, good.
Okay.
Thanks, Vinu. Yeah. So these are some of the foundation body sections. And team, please stop by in case you have any questions, or if you want to discuss anything about any particular thing as I'm going, because I think this is a very small discussion forum, so we can have a free talk at any point of time.
Yeah,
Right. So as far as this,
I just unmuted all of you because I don't think there is any disturbance right now. So I'll keep it unmuted.
yeah. So as far as the certification path is concerned, you have 4 levels of certification. It's a CITA Foundation, CITA Associate, CITA Specialist, and CITA Professional. There used to be another certification called CITA M, CITA Master, but it was removed, I think, 2 years ago. It's no more being considered because that became almost like an untouchable aspect. There were only two, as far as my knowledge goes, there were 2 or 3 people who cleared CITA M. And there was, I really do not know the discussion behind why it was removed, but it was removed because it is something which is totally unattainable from the architectural practices point of view. So they have delisted from the certification path. So what at this point of time is the highest level of certification in CITA is a CITA Professional. So the foundation and associate are more of a, if I were to mention, from the, I think maybe the slide it should be there, or yeah, in this slide it's there. It's about who should be doing what kind of certification. It is like the CITA F and CITA Association are more of a learning circle kind of a certifications where people with under 5 years of experience can aspire for that, can appear for that, this is more of an examination way of clearing the certifications. But CITA S, starting CITA S onwards, this is more of experiential based certifications where you present your case with the people who are on the board and explain them what the certification, what your achievements are, and how you think you have conducted yourself in the capacity of an architect, and your experiences. We'll talk about it little deep as we advance through the slides. But so starting CITA S onwards, it is more catered for the people who have been in the field more than 5 years and exhibiting the experiences in their job so that they can explain it better in front of the board during their certification. right? So that's the idea about the thing. Let me also share with you one of the thing that I have just copied from, maybe let me open this thing itself. Uh, so I was just looking at, yeah, I hope you can see this screen, the career path versus the professional experience thing. Uh, just a second, please. Let me take a snapshot. Yeah. Okay, so if you can see this career path, right? You know, the what they're referring to this as a CITA A is more of an awareness, CITA associate. If you just need to understand the ITA book of knowledge, and the core fundamental pillars, the 5 pillars that we have just talked about: BTS, business technology strategy, quality attributes, design thinking, human dynamics, and IT environment. And then the knowledge is exhibiting the knowledge out of the awareness is the CETA F, and then showing the experiences in front of the board out of what you have learned by exhibiting those behaviors during the projects is the CETA specialist. And taking one step ahead by exhibiting the leadership, meaning it's not that like you have just completed you have just exhibited your behaviors by yourself during the project, rather taking the team along, leading all the way by not only exhibiting those behaviors, but ensuring that the team members in the given assignment, whether it's a project or a portfolio of engagements, team has followed and ensured that it is taken on a collaborative mode, whatever the assignment that you were assigned to. So that's more of a CETA P behavior, right? So now let's go back to the slides.
Everybody
Now
is
when it
able.
comes to the preparation,
Sagar, I just wanted to ensure that everybody is able to see slide and hear us.
yeah.
Kumaran, Madhukar, Rajan.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, fantastic.
Yep.
Yes. So one of the things for CETA S onwards, so CETA F and CETA A, I don't think we need to talk about it because all of us are above 10 years experience, and we have been in the industry for a very long time, not only in one company but many more companies. So I think our experiences are quite diversified. So the certifications that one should look at, especially if somebody who is in more than 10 years, I would say CETA P. But if somebody wants to try it out with CETA S, feel free to have it with the CETA S onwards. One good thing about this CETA certifications is it's not a sequential. They're like one you should pass this before attempting for the other one. You can directly go for any certification level that you aspire into. So you can directly apply for CETA P if you think you can go for it, or you can start with CETA S, whichever way is comfortable with you. Or you can start with CETA F also. That's not shouldn't be a problem. But the expectation is that you should complete you should have that basic book of knowledge exhibited by you either directly or indirectly, right? So that's about
It's something like this.
the various.
What we are trying to recommend is that foundation is essential, may not be in terms of certification, but at least having gone through the course. And subsequently, the experiences come in the presentation in specialist or in professional board. So, to achieve that, maybe mentors will define some of the most mandated stuff in expressing how much they have worked on with the knowledge of those 5 pillars applied there. What are their experiences? That is point number one. And point number two is in terms of your competencies, you can also choose the lineage like business architecture or information architecture while doing so. So those are the two things. With reference to CETA-F, what we are trying to say is, yes, you must have the exposure to item box, self-assessment, and would have gone through architect course. And in India, what I have done, Sagar, also is to create a foundation workshop, which is more of a width, not of a depth. So they get to know about the five pillars in detail before they actually commit themselves to a particular certification. Like somebody can choose CETA S or a CETA A or a CETA B depending upon their self-assessment and their own positioning with the mentor. That's what we are trying to propagate.
Yeah, thanks, Vinu. So one of the suggested practices starting from CETA-S is to have a mentor along with you so that your journey to the preparation would be made easy. So that is a suggestive approach that that ISA board recommends, that you should have a mentor and ensure, and the mentor is the one who has cleared CETA certification, probably one level higher or the same level what you are aspiring for. And the involvement of the mentor is to ensure you get the right perspectives of the board experiences, and also the way the board has been carried out, and the way you should be preparing yourself, because there are certain expectations before preparing for the board. So it's always a recommended practice to have a mentor to ensure that you are guided on a right way, right? Because this is not a paper-based exam. This is more of presenting yourself in front of the four people. So unleashing yourself, or maybe the board, the people sitting there, unleashing themselves onto you. I'll talk about it a little later. What does it mean by unleashing? But the ones who have been in the board probably can understand. But we'll talk about that. So what do we do? What should we do to prepare for CETA yes? The suggestion is first assessment. There is a strawman framework what ISA board has what ISA has in terms of assessing yourself, and then there is we suggest to have a mentor sessions. You be proactive enough to work with the mentor, define a mentor who you think should the mentor be. If you do not have any mentor, if you do not know any mentor, you can actually ask the ISA help to, you can seek ISA's help to find out a mentor in your region or in another region. But my personal suggestion would be take a mentor who is not in your region, because thinking may be alike if if the mentor and the participant fall into the same region, and diversity is what is required. So since we are an Indian, probably taking a mentor from either from US or from UK or from APAC region could help even much better, because goal is not only passing the certification, but also getting those perspectives outside of what we are doing, right? So once you identify the mentor, having the mentor sessions, do an assessment with the mentor. Keep doing the assessment with the mentor by holding frequent calls, be it a monthly call or be it a weekly call, depending on how advanced you are in having the interaction with the mentor before the DDEC. So that's the iterative way of ensuring that you are preparing your documents, you are running it through with mentors, and you are ensuring that your presentation is very much in sync with what could probably be the future expectations in front of the board. Now, when it comes to the documentation, there is a lot of documentation that's required to be submitted, starting from CETA-S. First and foremost, resume. You need to prepare your resume, and definitely resume should not be more than 2 pages. I suggest to make it at just 1 page, or if not possible, make it to 2 pages. And then there is a skill assessment. The skill assessment is about, as I mentioned to you, there is the 5 core pillars. A core pillar having the 5 capabilities, and then either any one of the specialization pillar. Now, under each of the core pillar, like under design, you have at least 10 sub-pillars. So you need to do an assessment for each of the pillar and sub-pillar. The pillar is what I mentioned to you earlier, the core part, design, BTS, IT environment, human dynamics. Now under each of that pillar, there are at least 6 or 7 sub-pillars. You need to rate yourself and explain why you have rated like that. You could be 1 in human relationships under human dynamics, or you could be 5 in IT environment with respect to the IT design to the design subpillar under the IT environment. So you need to not only give a rating, but you also talk in brief supporting the rating that you have provided. Um, one
Sagar,
good, yeah.
Sagar, I had a question or maybe a kind of an input. The thing is like this is a part of the self-assessment, right? I just want to get a clarity.
Yes, this is a self-assessment. Yes, this is a
Uh,
self-assessment.
okay,
Yeah.
so because I am recommending each one of them to do a self-assessment before they meet their mentor. And
Okay.
so that's like basically we have the template shared, and I have the sub pillars defined and the sub capability defined under the each pillar. Is that okay?
True. True.
Okay, okay.
Exactly, exactly. So for all this, for the information of all how you define your skill assessment, how you define your resume, there is a defined template from the ISA, and you need to fill in your information, your rating, your skill assessment, your CV within that template of the within that template. It's not that like we are writing by ourselves. We need to define it within that template. It's a PDF document, and that document has a writable PDF document. You just need to key in the information with respect to the documentation that's mentioned here. And suggested practice is you do your skill assessment and you run it through your mentor. One of the best feedback that I have got is you need to be really practical while defining the skill. It is not like we put 4 or we put 3 against all skills, because we all know that like we are not we may not be good in all areas. There may be areas where we are definitely good at. There may be areas where we may be it may be an improvement area. So be self-critical while rating it, because during the board you odds are likely that you get at least 1 or 2 hard nuts, and they will push you to the core, to the areas where you may not be so good. That does not mean that they are trying to prove their capabilities, but they try to take you to the edge till you come out, start exhibiting your own behaviors impromptu. So that is the expectation out of the board experience. So that is why be self-critical. If you are not an infrastructure architect, under IT environment, there are certain expectations around infra, and be candid enough that you may be average, or you may be in a scale of 1 to 4, you may be 1 or 2, meaning 1 being the low and 4 being the highest. And that does not mean that you disqualify, but having an awareness on an infrastructure while you're applying for a software architect is perfectly possible, and I'm an example for that. So being self-critical is the first thing that needs to be done, that needs to be exhibited. And while you are discussing this with your mentor on the assessment, it will help you more towards excelling well. And one of the other things that we wanted to mention is the template asks for is experience document, in which you're again 3 aspects need to be looked at. One is the first project as an architect, and the biggest failure that you have tasted in any of your past projects, and the project that you are most proud of. These are the 3 other areas where you need to be filling the information. Now all said and done, now you are getting into the presentation. You have 30 minutes where it's for you. You need to show to the group that you know the things well, right? And definitely, though you may not be 100% excel in all the core areas, the art is in exposing the best about you not showing yourself that you are the weakest or you are the weak in certain areas. It's more of showing about the good things that you have done, uh, meeting the showing the behaviors that you have exhibited out of the from the ISA meeting the ISA pillars and subpillar behaviors, right? So it's not like, during while you are talking, you are saying that I have exhibited these six behaviors from the design pillar, three behaviors from the IT. That's not the way it should be. It's more like as you flow through, people by default should be able to understand that yes, as he or she is explaining about a project, the board member should be able to understand that yes, this particular pillar has been met because this guy is talking about some design patterns. So the design patterns of pillar in design is ticked down. So that's the way, the board is expected to do it, rather than saying one pillar by one pillar, talking about one pillar by one pillar through the project example. That may not be a suggested expectation. Now, what is the board for CITA? You have 30 minutes where candidate presents himself or herself in front of the board. Per my understanding, it is a board, you will have one moderator who will moderate between you and the board members. And within the board members, you have 4 board members from different backgrounds. There may be, all are definitely CITA Ps, at least. For CITA board, there may be some CITA certified board members possible, but all board members are CITA specified certified, so that they know what you're talking about and they know how to relate the certification credentials to your expertise, to your experiences. So for the first 30 minutes, you are not disturbed. You will just talk as you go. Nobody will stop you. This is your time. This is best of your time to ensure you have expressed your career, your project, whatever it is, touching all the aspects what the certification body expects towards all those pillars and sub-pillars. And then you are given a break, and you come back, and sorry, you're not given break immediately. After 30 minutes, you will be given 40 minutes of time where your interview will take place by the 4 board members. It is like a sequential. Board number 1, first person will interview you, and then second person will interview you, third person, fourth person. Since each person will take 10 minutes and they will ask questions, and this is a little mild. It won't be a very pushing you to the edge, but it is more like trying to clear the areas where you would have probably not explained, and that remained as a question to them to see how it is, how you want to come out. And then you are given a 10-minute break, and within that 10-minute break, the board members will discuss, how to prepare for the next. And the next 40 minutes could probably be like pushing you to the edge. As I mentioned earlier, they will ensure they will take you out of the comfort zone, out of your comfort zone, and ask you how you may behave, how you may respond at the time of, when you're pushed to the extreme discomfort zone. So that is the intention of the second 40 minutes. So you may feel like, oh, maybe this guy is trying to, demean me or disrespect me by asking certain, not so polite questions, but that is intentional. It is to ensure how you are behaving during the crisis management. So maybe you can take it that way. But the expectation is to ensure that your behaviors out of your comfort zone. That's the clear goal of the second presentation in the 40 minutes. Trust me, whether you pass or not, it is a very good experience for us to see how we can, that experience is really, really enriching. And also, board never wants to see you failing. They always want to give you required enough hints so that you come out good. It does not mean that like they will give you the answer, but board intention is also to pass you in a given thing. But they want to see how you come out of yourself to ensure that you have met the required things. That is an expectation. Okay. So as far as the tips is concerned, definitely you have to be self-confident, and you should show that behavior of a continuous learner. It is not uh, my simplest suggestion would be keep the egos at the corner when you are coming and presenting yourself. Nobody is questioning your capabilities. They are just testing whether you are capable enough or not towards a particular behavior. That is the mindset we should go get into. And as Michelle has explained, and I almost echo with with almost all the items here, because I myself was there in CITA P presenting them. There'll be like first one is like a tennis match, ping pong. Questions were fired at you, and you bat them back. Then it's a game of ping pong. It all became much more rapid, and I felt I did not have enough time to think. Yeah, that was an expectation. And then finally, in the last 40 minutes, your ping pong and gunfiring starts. And towards the end, it's like that's what he was mentioning. Finally, it was like a machine gunfire. I was responding out of pure instincts. No time to think, no time to process, just responses flying back. So that's actually an expectation. People will put you to the utmost discomfort zone, and they expect you answer without even thinking. So that's an impromptu behavior that one expects you to answer, and that will give you the right behaviors, right? So that's why it's important that you have a more of you know uh, preparation sessions with your mentor, ensuring that mentor participates and ensure that you ask right questions and mentor gives you enough guidance, and have lot of sessions before the presentation, because you really don't know who you will be facing with. You may see a completely outside of India, even though if you present it in India, it is not likely that like you will get all Indians in the board. You may see a different diversity, possible that you may get a different people from outside of India also in there. So make sure that like you are confident, make sure that like you position yourself, make sure that like you are a learner. It is perfectly okay to say that I have not worked on this particular behavior. When rather than saying a negative sense, say you didn't have an opportunity to work on it at a detailed level, but give enough hint that you have engaged an expert in that field to ensure that the project is running. And a simple example is, infrastructure assessment in a CRM implementations. I'm not an infrastructure architect, or I'm not an infrastructure SME, but to give the infrastructure to give the required capacity planning, I needed to involve an infrastructure SME who is good at delivering the required IOPS at a database level, and ensuring that the perimeter networks are properly set up, and ensuring that there is no kind of injection attacks at a middle tier level, and how a DNS may be set up. So all those things, I'm not a 300 level or a 400 level person. I'm probably an L100 level person. But to get the project going, involving right SMEs at right time is what an architect should do. So maybe you can take it in that way, and ensuring that you give required enough material to the board to believe that you are a collaborative person and a learning person, right? So that's about what I have about the CITA S presentation, and over to you, Vinu.
Yeah, Sagar, thanks a lot. Actually, it is a fantastic presentation. I think it has given wide amount of areas that we need to focus on. I want to leave the questions to the guys who are there. Rajan, Madhukar, and Sanjay, please feel free to talk. And then maybe Kumaran will add in as well. Don't tell me there's no question here.
Yeah, this is Rajan here. I think there is something new certification is there, right? CITA, yes, certification is for solution architect or something. What's the difference between a solution architect and a software architect from ISR perspective? Any idea?
I think it's pretty much the same, Rajan. It's pretty much the same. There is the specialization, the name given to the software architecture specialization. That specialization is a software architecture, but that's more of a solution architect capabilities only. Uh, so that's why there was a discussion of whether the solution architecture should stand out as a separate specialization or it should get absorbed into the as one of the horizontal items under infra data and an enterprise architecture. But as of now, as it stands out today, it stood out as a separate specialization, but probably in future that may become as one of the horizontal expected behavior in the specialization ranks. But it
Yeah,
is more or less, it's like a solution architect only.
yeah, I think I agree with Saga. One of the things that differentiates solutions with that of the software is the technical architect role. If you look at it, we have different names: product architects or technical architect as well. Okay, so if you are looking at a product architect, it is more on a domain. So the solutions are more domain centric or cross domain centric. It might be multiple domains as well. Whereas if you're looking at software architecture, it is more on the technology that you bring in and the related programming aspects, the design aspects that you bring in to enable and support such domain needs. So supportive to domain might be software. And this is my primary point of view as well, is that software is more concentrated on your technologies, let us say OSS, it might be in terms of use of specific databases, it might be in use of specific programming techniques, it might be more in terms of the implementation, development guidelines, okay, how you have developed that particular program, rather compared to that of where it is implied or explicitly implemented in a particular domain, let us say CRM or SCM, or it might be billing, or it might be telecom, it might be multiple areas of domains. So when you come to domains, more focus on solutions, and when it comes to technologies, more focus on software. So you can choose where you are stronger, and that's my firm point of view. You can comment.
Yes, that's exactly my question. So, to take, CITA is a specialist for solution architect, then I should be well versed with one single domain, or I should be a better knowledge having on one single domain, isn't it?
If I were to answer that, Rajan, you CETA or ISA as such does not expect you to be a master in more than one domain or a single domain. It is your case. You let's say you have been working for 15 years in one domain. Let's say you are a telco specialist, and CETA says that you show your what you have done, whether you have covered all the behaviors, the pillar, what's explained in the CETA board within that domain in a right way or not. You, even though if you are in a single domain specialist, you are still qualified for it, and you are a master in your own domain. Expectation is that whether you have covered those traits or behaviors, what's explained in the book of knowledge, so that you are gauged as an architect in your domain. It does not expect you to know what a banking domain is, how good are you in a banking when you are working on a telecom. One most important thing here is CETA is more on your experience. It is not on your knowledge on the things what you don't know. Minimum knowledge, what is required? Yes, definitely. Because if you see under BTS, one of the things is investment prioritization. Uh, you are probably you're not working on it practically, maybe because you are not in that role to decide what kind of a portfolio analysis you should be doing, whether you should do any kind of ROI based study to choose a particular portfolio. That may be at the CXO levels, or at a very senior or enterprise architect level discussion. But knowing that there are certain financial parameters based on which investment priority can take place, that's a minimum expected behaviors under certain pillars. Beyond that, you really don't have to be worrying about, oh, I don't know banking, so what will be like if board members will ask me, I may fail. No, that should never be the case. You should always go with the domain, with the experiences what you are carrying, rather than trying to understand something new.
Yeah, I think that is
I hope
perfectly
Okay,
right.
Sagar. Thank you.
yeah. So when we are
Sanjay?
presenting ourselves, so just last point, how I had presented my board assessment is, I first studied the CITA book of knowledge, and then I try to relate each thing with any of whether I have exhibited this in any of my experiences, and then I rated where I have experiences high with a high number, where I don't have an experience I rated a low number. That's how I had presented. So that said, BTS is a big thumbs down for me, because that's an area, though I have known theoretically, I have not experienced it because I never had a chance to work on. Yeah.
Sanjay?
Yes, Vinu.
Yeah, any questions
Vinu, can
there?
you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, no question at this point.
Madhukar?
No, I think Sagar has covered
I'm just
what is
showing,
that is required. Uh,
I'm just showing the template that I shared with you. Okay, so we have in business technology strategy, business technology strategy. Let me just go to that. I think my screen is playing. Okay, one is a general proficiency assessment. So wherein we focus on certain sub pillars of BTS, which are like fundamentals, investment prioritization, and so on and so forth. And we also have, in terms of the design skills, what are the sub skills, the sub capabilities there, decomposition, design analysis, design patterns. So my question actually to Sagar is, uh, do we have to elaborate based on a generic one or two cases that we have done in our past? How did we apply these things, or how does it go?
Yes, for all these sub pillars, we have to give our self-assessment rating with minimum 500 lines of notes of uh, how you have exhibited in your projects.
Okay, so in general, we choose, let us say, two or three, two cases, two projects.
Yeah, you can take while explaining this, you can consider any project that you have done. That's
Okay,
there's no stoppage. Let's say you have done, say you worked in 5 companies so far, and you would have completed, say, 20 projects, internal projects or external projects. It does not stop you from saying that I have exhibited this behavior in the context of so and so project, in so and so time frame. Absolutely fine. Besides this, there will be towards the end, there may be a section of, tell about one of the biggest failures that you have seen, tell about one of the first projects that you have handled at the start of your career, and tell about one of the most important projects that you take pride, to be proud of. So those are the three, I think, towards the end you may see in the template. That's where you can explain with one of the projects that, according to the definition, what's asked for.
yeah. So coming to the specialization proficiency assessments, we have to choose one or two of this for CTS.
One, one, one,
One.
one.
Okay, so let's
Yeah,
assume that we take software architecture, then we will have to explain how did we work on a project,
correct.
or for or services, or on software engineering, or on
Yeah,
tools usage, correct?
Correct. Correct. And other thing is you can use any of the methodology. Let's say you have used a
Framework.
TOGAF framework for one of your projects. Absolutely
Yeah.
fine. Or you could say you used a Jackman framework, or you used RUP, Rational Unified Process. Or if you are a Microsoft person, there's something called SDM.
Hmm.
And you can say that SDM methodology you have used to build it. I'm no problem with it.
Fantastic. Okay, and then the experience assessment goes into like the projects. This is basically your resume, right?
Correct. This is like your resume. Yeah, I think it's slightly changed
Yeah,
from what it
yeah.
used to be last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so basically we look at profile one, which project were you informed, what was the reference contact, what were your responsibilities, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I think we have
Yeah.
about one or two of such things. And then if we run
Correct.
through further, we have more on architecture engagements, like what was your first architecture
Yeah.
engagement? And when you actually define those things, you should cover these 5 points. What was the business problem? How did you apply which framework and what pattern? Was there a measurement of success? And what was your architectural view of the project? And also, how did you hand off to maintenance and support? In all the like the first architecture engagement, what you feel the best of your architecture engagement and the worst. Uh, I think that's mainly the content of the template, which you should be able to fill it up based on your own experiences.
Correct.
Any questions here, Sanjay? I'm going to unmute everyone.
I think one more point which I just wanted to add was when you can you just scroll up, to any one of those pillars and subtopics under them.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
me
So
go.
I think
Let me go to this. Yeah, this is the toughest of it.
okay. So let's take design skills for example, right? Now, let's say you had done something in a design methodology, okay, or traceability through the life cycle. It need not be necessary that you should have been an architect when you did that. You could have been a team leader,
Yes.
which also fine.
Absolutely. And you do not have to bear a title called architect to apply for this certificate. So even if you were a software engineer, you have applied something, please feel free to put it there. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for example, requirement analysis, right? So, uh, right in my first project that I did uh, in my career itself. So, when I joined the company, they had some requirement with them. It was a small company, so they had some requirement with the client. The client was Indian Railways. So they gave me some requirement, but that was not complete in itself. So when I went to demo those guys, they said that this is not complete. We need this. We need that. Then I started actually requirement gathering and finding the clarity on the requirement. Took all those things, came back, had a conversation every week with them for a few weeks, then went back and demo them again things, and that's how it happened. So, though I have at that time, if you remember, there was a book from Pressman on the software engineering part, right? Right? So,
Yeah.
uh, I used some of those information and how I will program things. So for that, I need to understand more than the what that guy was telling.
Sure.
So many times I didn't ask appropriate question. That was completely new to me also, right? So when I came back and trying to code something, I found I missed out. I have to ask this guy again few questions. So that's how too many questions back and forth to get that requirement. But later on, I understood that requirement gathering not as easy as it looks like. Mark said.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a good example of, so that's something which you can capture as a demonstration of your experience. And so maybe some of these three pillars will be heavy. Like for example, if for whatever reason you are tasked with a maintenance project, right? So there might not be too much of a business value or a requirement gathering in a maintenance project.
Right.
Whereas you will have lot of things around quality attributes which needs to be maintained for a, because you have your SLAs and you have process around maintaining SLAs and all. So those things come under your quality attributes pillar. So that would be pretty heavy for a project. So you can pick up projects wherein you have got these experience. So that's another way of uh, looking at how to address these pillars and not I think it will be difficult for a lot of us to say one project where you will have all the pillars giving you the data.
So what I understand from all this is that whatever I have done in the past, right, I have to look at them again
Yeah.
from these angles and pick and choose how to demonstrate these capabilities in my those projects and then write it back into my CV.
Into this assessment.
Into this assessment document.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only
Spot
question
on.
that I have for both Umaran and Sagar is, how do you rate that or compare it with the ITAC experience? ITAC, TOGAF, Open Group.
I don't know. I don't have an idea on that, I'm not exposed to that part.
Sagar, you have any idea?
Can you repeat the question? I did not get it.
See, let us forget that we have 5 years. Okay. Let us only think in terms of we have a certification possible through Open Group, through a IT architecture certification with some case studies that one has to do and present it to the board there, ITAC, level 1, level 2. Now, as compared to that, do we have some information as to how we are positioning our CITA S and P?
So you're asking me how different it is from the open group TOGAF certifications.
Not just TOGAF level 1, level 2, Sagar. ITAC is something like they have to showcase. When I did that for the TCS guys and General Motor guys, we were supposed to identify one previous engagement and one ongoing engagement and present the fact how you applied the open group framework to the board.
Oh, okay. I am sorry, even I don't know. Are you talking about ITSM or there's something called
No,
ITSC?
ITAC, IT architecture certification from Open Group, which is after TOGAF, you can do the ITAC this thing. I don't know whether they have discontinued in the last 1 or 2 years or whether they continue that. But the
Okay,
thing is, like, when I got
okay,
TCS guys and GM guys to appear for it, we prepared them for a case that a project that they have done before and a project ongoing where they relate how a particular framework like Open Group has been applied to their project. So
okay,
my
okay.
question is, this we have a second dimension to it, which is the 5 pillars, and we have specializations, and the third dimension is framework, any framework. So
Correct.
do we speak in terms of how a particular framework was applied to a capability? Is it mandatory in our board questioning? Is my own question. This is my pure question.
Actually, this is just my experience. There is no expectation that you should talk about TOGAF or Zachman. It is
Hmm.
good if you mention that you are a master in at least one methodology, be it your internal methodology or external methodology as diverse as TOGAF or Zachman. It's good to have, but if you say that you do not have experience in any of this, then that's fine. But you should the board is wise enough to understand if you are cooking up the story or if you are really used some methodology. Because simple example, even though there are sub capabilities under the various capable things, they are mostly interrelated.
Right.
So if you have done a requirement modeling and under the design section there is a traceability throughout life cycle,
Mm.
and if one is not talking about how they have established the traceability starting from requirement to the design to the development to the testing to the change life cycle management, then people will simply assume that they have not one has not exhibited the certain behaviors, and that could result into a failure. But nobody would expect you be the master of a methodology. It would
Mm.
be good if you show any of the methodology that satisfies all those traits defined in the pillars and the specializations.
Okay, I think I get the point. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I just want had this doubt with me. And, Kumaran, you want to add in terms of how the guys can go about building this template?
Uh, no, I think Sagar has pretty much covered that. But Sagar, I think one thing is right, like maybe next time or some other call when we meet, Wayne Flynn, right? Um,
Yeah.
the guy who runs the architecture board for us,
Correct. Correct.
he
Yes.
has
Yes,
done
sir.
ITAC. Okay, so if you kind of uh, connect with him,
Hmm.
he'll be able to give a slightly comparative uh, perspective of both this board versus that board and this prep
Yeah,
versus that
because
prep.
why I asked Kumaran is because I think not just the people who are here on the call, but I am facing a lot of questions in terms of how this is compared that we achieving the certification, number one. Number two is how the industry recognizes based on its internal uh, grinding.
Oh, and Sagar, I don't know whether you're aware, I have quit Microsoft. It's been like
Yeah.
2 months.
Actually, yes. Yes. I understood recently only.
Okay, okay, yeah.
But does that mean that he has left the Microsoft technologies?
No.
Okay. So, Rajan, do you want to have any questions on this before I go into details?
Yep, I have one question. So, CITA S and CITA P, right? What is the big difference?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, Vinod,
Uh,
have you heard my question?
you have asked between CETA S and CETA P, what is the difference?
Yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah,
I asked.
because yes, yeah. I mean, yes, if you look at the preparation methodology, everything is same. So my question is, what is the additional thing, or what is the additional expectation from the ISA board for CETA P? Because I know that we are talking more about CETA S, but I just would like to understand a little bit of CETA P as well, so that.
Okay. So it's so from the expectations point of view, somebody who is applying for CETA P should be having more of a leadership traits, right? CETA S is like comparatively. I mean, I'm always trying to compare with CETA S. CETA S is more of individual excellence. Of course, it's within the team, but the behavioral traits would be, whereas in CETA-P is like it is not only an individual excellence, it is more of a team excellence, ensuring that you are, when you are talking about it, you are not just talking about yourself, you are able to lead the project to the highest standards, right? So it's more of a leadership skills, and how you, and with more understanding of the core pillars and more understanding of how your experiences helped others to succeed. So these kind of things will come into the picture. Just this is again one of my suggestions from the mentor. is when you are actually talking to the board, emphasize more on I part, not on the we part, right? I have done this rather than saying we have done this. The moment you say we have done this, it's a probable indication that you are part of it, but probably you are not the driver for that, right? So use it in a right connotation so that people understand whether that thing came out of you, and with that idea you have made the project to the success, leveraging the team. So these are more important in the CITA P. How big the project is, what was the success criteria, and how well have you exhibited those behaviors. And that concentration is little less in CITA-S, because CITA-S is just a graduation from the paper-based exam to your experiential thing. So nobody may expect more of business understanding, more of a collaborative mode of execution, leadership traits as compared to the CETA P. That's what my hunch is.
It's
But I would, yeah, please
uh,
go ahead.
yeah, Rajan, my point of view is CTAP is in depth into more of the pillars that we have and showing your capability not only in terms of having implemented but more of leadership capability there. How you will get people to do as needed, and how exactly have you translated some of those five pillar requirements and your skills requirement into actual action and your directions. Your collaboration is a very important case, and your understanding of the business is paramount. So the collaboration and business angles are very deeply quizzed rather than that of having done it yourself in CITAS. Am I correct, Sagar?
Yes, sir. Makes sense. Yeah.
So,
I suggest to go for a strawman. There is something called a strawman distribution, which is widely followed in our in the CETA education, in the ISA board. If you want a very detailed, right usage of the definition of between P and S and F and A, I suggest you go for that strawman distribution, which they will very clearly tell you this is what this level is, this is what this level is. I don't have it, I don't have the latest definition because this is what I had at the time when there was no CETA S. There was only CETA F, A, P, and M, right? So at that point, I'll just take a leaf out of it. The professional membership is like mainly 3 points, which is delivery, connectivity of ideas, enterprise level leadership. These are the three attributes that one looks for. Strawman, STRAW, I think, WMANN,
WMANN.
NN, yeah, strawman distribution or something, yeah.
Now, maybe we have that in our.
Yeah, you say strawman distribution. I think it should be there in one of our things because this is something I got it through my mentor.
Hmm,
See, when I would say professional delivery, what do you mean by delivery? I'm just reading as is verbatim. Professional delivery is mature so as to be able to hand over or provide the intended target, destination, or audience. That's
hmm,
about the delivery. Connectivity of ideas, a formulated thought or opinion based on transference of multiple points of individual knowledge.
okay.
Enterprise level of leadership, commanding authority or influence to become a principal performer in an especially difficult, complicated, or risky environment. Those are the professional attributes. CETA, yes, I don't have it, but I think it is more of practice, whether you are able to perform often or customarily, so yes, to make habitual or standard procedure. There's a huge difference between that one versus a professional. And then I
Hmm.
had a master, which is about mentorship, research, industry leadership, those things. Anyway, master is gone, so yeah, yeah, skills maturity assessment. I think this is enterprise architecture, right? Yeah.
I'm just trying to get that. Yeah.
I will,
STRA.
otherwise whatever I have, I will pass it to you, Vinu. You may forward it to others.
Yeah,
Just
you're
let me
in.
forward
You
it.
can actually reply all with the attachment, Sagar. See, what I'm trying to do, I think I'll boil down to what I am intending to do is with your direction and Kumaran's direction. Uh, we may have to identify number one the mentors and guide the five of them, seven of them actually now. Okay, and they are bootstrapped with that of ISA India that they're committed in helping us in propagating this thing. So we are very serious in getting them on board and giving them the right direction so that they achieve the objective with least time frame. That is what I am trying to. So if there is anything that you or Kumaran or me can actually help them, they are supposed to be ready with some kind of an initial draft of the template by end of the next month. We have about 15-20 days from now, uh,
Hmm.
during which we will identify a second subject is of course the mentors, and you actually put a very right argument stating that, look, I think you need to look at mentors beyond your generation. And I was not cognizant of that. I was thinking Kumaran can handle a couple of the Sanjay and Rajan in Chennai, and you can handle some of our friends in Bangalore. So I need to rethink about the mentors.
Sure.
So in addition to that, maybe we will give them guidance in terms of how they will achieve this template, maybe understanding it better. Maybe we'll have mocks within ourselves. This is going to happen once in 15 days, according to me. This meeting once in a month together like this, based on need within Chennai and Bangalore, we will have once in 15 days. So that is the focus I am trying to bring in.
Sure.
Venu, I have one challenge. So I got a call from yesterday. I may need to travel to US for a short trip. Uh,
This is Rajan, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that shouldn't matter because according to me, Rajan, if you have at least 3 or 4 hours in a week where you can focus and then be able to fill some parts of these templates and go along, I feel you will be able to meet the expectations, Rajan.
yeah. So when is a timeline which you are planning? You know.
Yeah, the thing is like if we come back into what we wanted to discuss, one of the first things that I wanted each one of you to do is a self-assessment, which was actually skill assessment as presented by Sagar, and share it with us in the group, so that we know where we are presently, so that we can assign the mentor appropriately, in terms of helping you. And then we had a long template discussion today. And if you have any specific questions, you feel free to post a reply all to that email. And if you want specific inputs from me or Sagar or Kumaran, you are free to do so. And registration, I think Rajan and Sanjay have already done it. I'm trying to focus on getting Madhukar, Shabana, and Sachin do the same, which should happen during this weekend. The last part which I had was a MOU, which in principle, if you have any apprehension, please say whatever you would like to from your point of view. Is that we are trying to bootstrap you with the CITA with whatever feasibilities ISA can do in terms of achieving a CITA. So as a return, the commitment should be there not only as an instructor in future instructor or mentor in our future endeavors next couple of years, but also take part in the ITABOC contributions in the next versions. So this MOU template I'll send each one of you. You may have to sign it, and then Damaris from our global community will finalize that before your mentor is assigned. So we want to do that as Vidyasagar was mentioning. We will have a uh, specific mentor, maybe as he's suggesting out of the geography, but we will have a guide amongst three of us, Kumaran, Sagar, and myself, trying to guide you into doing the template and preparing yourself. So that's the intent here. Any specific questions you can raise it here. If I am not able to answer it, I will definitely ensure that it is answered by the next couple of days. Feel free, each one of you. Let us start with Rajan.
Yes, I mean, no issues. In fact, I think I've sent a mail to Paul as well, right, for that Adaboc contribution. So I forwarded that mail to you as well. So if there is any still, chapter left, um, but the thing is, my specialization is, software development architecture as well as tools. I mean, I'm not an expert in business or human dynamics. So if there is anything which I can contribute, I'm ready to contribute. And with respect to ISR support, I don't have any concern. So as long as I'm in India, I don't have any issues. So Saturday and Saturdays are time. So
Fantastic.
I mean,
So
in fact, I'm talking about ISR in my organization, and I'm planning to conduct one session
yes,
about ISR.
yes,
So I'm working on preparing the presentation as well. So
yeah,
right? I mean,
yes, I know
because
about.
even
Yeah, I think we are connected on that. I agree with you.
yeah.
So let's go to Sanjay. You're
Yeah,
already a
so
part of our
last time,
ITABOG,
yeah, so
and
I had a look at ITABOG, and last time also we had this meeting, and Kumarasan had explained some aspect of it, and today Sagar explained a lot with that PPT as well that helped us to focus things. One aspect that I understood from both this meeting is that whatever we have done in the past, we have to look at them from the ISA pillar perspective and trace those things out from there, and then see which pillar we can focus more on, and which area we can focus, and then pitch on that one for the CITA S, right?
yeah, I think in a gist it is correct. Okay. Madhukar actually messaged me said that he's got other appointment that he had to go, but he will be definitely be a part of the group of people who will be taking CITAS, and he will take help from both me and Sagar in achieving this. So, Sagar, any final words on how to go about your suggestions? Because this is very aligned with the ISA India growth. Uh, I want you to help me in this.
So as far as the preparation is concerned, I suggest, to have it at least at least 3 months before.
Okay,
That will give us ample time to prepare, because preparation of this is not a easy job.
correct.
Considering we are all full-time working, for the participant, it will be, if they want to do a more detailed introspection with the mentor or with the guides, I suggest to start it at least 3 months before the D-Day, and have a iterative reviews with the mentor, so that it's a fruitful thing.
Yeah, we are looking at some.
Preparing anything 1 month before will not help out. I
No,
don't
no.
think one will be able to complete such a big template.
No, no, I'm looking at maybe November 15th onwards after Diwali. November 15th,
Acha,
before
okay.
the December 15th when the board goes on leave for the Christmas. So that is what I'm
Right.
looking at the timelines.
Yeah. See, the simple thing you have on an average you have seven sub pillars,
Yeah,
and 7 into 5 is 735 core subpillars, and then you have to take another 6 or 7 items under the specialization. So if you were to write 500 words towards each of it, then it's like going back into the years where you have started your career, or one started his career, and started, thinking about it and then writing it. And if one seriously wants to make an
yeah.
attempt,
I'm
so it took
actually,
3 months for me.
yeah.
And my
No,
manager, my mentor, literally, grilled me on many lines. So at one point of time, I was feeling very distressed, but it turned out to be very good.
yeah, I understand that because I did speak to Abhishek Lal, who is my mentor, and I'm also doing the same thing. Prepared some of the templates right now. And before I
Okay.
go into that last 10 minutes of showcasing what I have done so far for CITA, I would like to actually expand to your question. You remember us to the role mapping that
Right.
we had in terms of ITABOC new version. Uh, let me just
Okay.
let me just go through that. This is a very we have not yet released September first week. That is day after tomorrow. Actually, we are releasing the ITABOC version 2 for our chapter
Yeah.
leaders to communicate.
Correct.
The
Correct.
architect
Smooth
body of
thing. Yeah.
knowledge version 2. We are going to do version 1.5, where you, Sanjay, and I myself are contributing in terms of the ITABOC. I am contributing in the capability area of software architecture tools. And so what we are trying to achieve in the ITABOC is more of capability rather than that of just the pillars. So we have and the second point, the second dimension is the role play that everybody has to do. So the matrix that we are trying to bring is in a particular engagement, what capabilities is an architect delivering, or uh, what is a subset of such capabilities within an engagement that an architect brings in value to business. So if you look at the capability guidebook, we have certain capability that you yourself can go through. You can see the website. It's Itaboc, reverse hash ISA Global org. So once you go there, you'll be able to see this. What we are trying to do is looking at the sub capabilities of each pillar. For example, BTS, we have this. And in terms of the human dynamics, we have leadership, peer, customer relationship, presentation, design, and quality attributes. But if you click on any one of these, let's say technical project management, just for an example. So we have the description of it, description of the capability, and we have more in-depth detail on what it really means and its sub-capabilities. Okay, so and it also speaks about the proven practices and a detailed list of the sub-capabilities, how it is addressed by our certifications. Okay, so this is a general template that we have in terms of, say, for example, for that particular project relationship, we have the learner can demonstrate experience in gathering business requirements and formulate these in a requirement specification to define scope. So to the question that Sanjay raised, that he had his requirements were not complete and he had to go through multiple loops to get the input, you can demonstrate your experience in gathering the requirements, and that is an added thing for you to become a CETA specialist. You demonstrate an experience in supporting the definition, a work breakdown structure for a project. For example, you just take a situation where you are implementing CRM. So you need to, number one, there is a requirement based on the business. Then there is a maybe a response to the client, which is answered by multiple vendors. You're monitoring it, and then you subsequently map them, evaluate them, and then come out with, for execution of the project, a supporting help from architect as to what exactly needs to go for the CRM project. So that is actually a added thing for your CITA. So that is what we are looking at in the ITABOC version 1.5 and beyond. Version 2 will be out by November with some more capabilities. And today we have about 220 sub capabilities across the 5 pillars. And it has been contributed by 100 of them. I think it is exactly 98, including three of us, Sanjay, me, and Sagar. So that is how the ITABOC has been evolved, and we are looking at this may not be directly applied to your CITAS, but we will be giving mentoring and guidance so that you excel in this, so you don't need to revisit this next year. Anybody who is taking a CITA-S or a CITA-A or any certification later from March 2016 onwards may have to adhere to ITABOC version 2. Right now, we are going with the present ITABOC, and you will get added help in update yourself with the new capabilities, and that is why the need for you to bootstrap and be a part of let us say being a ITABOC contributor in one or two of the sub capabilities. I hope I was able to communicate this. Any questions here, please? I've unmuted Kumaran as well.
Yeah.
No questions, Vinu.
Okay, fantastic. So what my plan of action now is that Kumaran, myself, and Sagar will try to guide you before a mentor is assigned. We have a draft template ready in next maybe about 2 or 3 weeks, within which we will have one more meeting, say around the 14th or 15th locally. Kumaran can meet Rajan and Sanjay. Sagar will help me evaluate people here in Bangalore. Madhukar, Vishwanath, who was not on the call today, Shabana, and Sachin. So we have six of us, and we will try to direct you to have a mentor assigned by next 15 to 20 days after that second meeting now. And the call, again, if you look at the bootstrapping CITA, is going to recur on every 30th of the month at the same time. So we can make do since we are six of us, six plus two of us. We will go to the closest Sunday if it is convenient for you. September 27th, is that okay? Kumaran? Kumaran?
Yeah, 27th is fine.
Yeah, but then before that, Kumaran will meet Sanjay and Rajan,
Yeah.
and myself and Saga will meet Sachin, Shabana, Madhukar, and Vishwanath from BITS. Okay, and right now we have two registrations which has gone online, which is Rajan and Sanjay. Shabana and Sachin are going to register day after tomorrow. Shabana is not well; she could have done it today. Sachin is coming back from Hyderabad and will do the same. Madhukar and Vishy are very experienced people. Madhukar has 20 plus experience. Unfortunately, he had to go for another call, so he left us. Vishy had shown that he might log in today, but he is looking at a different time frame because he recently joined Bits Pilani from IBM. So he wanted to resettle with his courseware and others for Bits Pilani. So he wants time till March. So he will also be a part of the bootstrapping, but he will do it in a delayed manner. But he is available for us to guide, in terms of he being 25, I think he's 27 years experience, he's senior to me. So he will also guide us in the achieving the certification and convincing the mentors and the board that they are capable to go for the board meeting in November. I hope I could tell all my mind out. Let us be very informal. I don't want to be formal in this. All of you are known to me. Sagar Kumaran, please help me in this. I
Sure, sir.
know, I know there are certain, Sagar is still in Microsoft, and Kumaran has come out, and we are trying to work together, myself and Kumaran, in terms of going to the corporates and to the local architecture enablement. So we are working together. There's no monetary as such as of now. I'm not having any monetary benefits for the mentors, but the ISA model will come in. I want to actually propagate that whether it is a guide or a mentor, they're a part of the bootstrapping of the chapter and we take forward in terms of benefits, if that is lucrative for all of us. Maybe we can have an individual discussion, Sagar and Kumaran, on this.
No problem, Vinod. That's fine.
No, I just want to be very transparent to everybody. I don't know whether this is not the very professional within courts way, like we have discussions and all that. But within ISA India, I want to grow in such a manner. This is really an association of architects who are striving to. They have contributed. They want, like people like Rajan and Sanjay, Madhukar, they have all been a part of this industry for long years, and I want to mature that and grow further. That's what I meant, Sagar and Kumar.
Sure, sure, sir.
And
Uh,
Kumaran actually, Rajan is a part of the Mindtree. He's propagating interest within his CTO and his organization in bringing them together for our, I had a discussion with the CTO, and he was very eager to take it forward in terms of certifications for 50 of his people with CITA A, S, and P. Okay, and Rajan is my channel, and he is very important if he can achieve this and put forth. I mean, this is all actually planned by Rajan, and I'm only helping him. So we need all the guidance necessary from all of you in maturing ISA India. Sorry, Kumaran, you are
Yes,
muted.
Venu.
Yeah. So the next step of action
Yeah,
is
sure. We'll do that. Yeah.
next steps are basically I'm going to share with you again the template. Oh, I really give me 2 minutes. I want to show you what I have been trying to fill up. This is not complete and it is under purview of Abhishek Lal, who is my mentor. And the CITA's documentation speaks about um, I am, this is I think 30% or 40% through. So I just wrote my one page resume where I was involved in. Okay, and then I came out with a statement of what all I have done, highlighted my projects where I was involved in those 5 pillars. You can see that in block. Uh, then I went on into approach to the documentation where I stated very clearly the question arises as to the choice of assignments to be elaborated, which is very important. It is your call because you are the best bet to answer the questions by the board. So when you choose the assignments, you have to be very careful in terms of what you choose and what you need to really project. And 1 minute, yeah, I'm on Mac and it is so slow. Okay, so I spoke about what I was involved in the first decade. I was more in the three pillars, and later in the middle period in the human dynamics, and maybe in the last 10 years in more into BTS and political phase of human dynamics, because I was dealing with a lot of vendor relationships and politics of individual clients. And then I wrote and the general proficiency on on the projects. And I classified the projects into type 1 and type 2. One was more on the specific verticals, and the other one was more in terms of being within an ITES organization, IT services organization. In type 1, I was a part of a government or a manufacturing or a transportation or a banking community. I was internal IT and I was able to do work. In type 2, I was a vendor for them. I was a vendor for the end client and implementing solutions for them. So the type 1 was more in terms of being a part of the end client, and type 2 was being a part of the vendor for the end client. And then I went into generic context of detailing about each pillar, the BTS, or it might be more in, say, for example, a specific, I don't know, I'm just picking up one para. I mentioned that many, business strategy, rationalization, development, and it impacts the strategy alignment and design in most projects. Uh, it is very rare that you find awareness to that within the clientele or within your vendor that you are representing, be it Tata's, Mindtree, be it Microsoft, be it any other company. We are a part of a organization which is trying to do some work for a client. How much does that rationalization development is seriously taken care of? We are not aware. So there are different complexities, and then I went into specific instances of how I implemented in using the pillars in either an automotive organization. I chose the global automotive organization, which are General Motors, uh, as what I did, and how did I prioritize? How did I do the automation of manufacturing system? How did I manage stakeholder management under it? How did I handle IT systems? How did I go into data integration and process flow? So on and so forth. And it was very difficult for me because I had gone into multiple areas in in that, but I focused on supply chain management. So your choice is very important as to where you will, where you are strong at, and presenting your point of view of how you did the work. I will share with you some of the snapshots, which if it can help you, right?
Yes, Vinu.
Okay, so this will help a lot in.
Minus.
Okay, I think Sagar was unable to. He lost a connect internet connection and couldn't join back. He just sent me SMS. So I'm just going through these things. And one of the inputs that Abhishek Lal, who is my mentor, stated was try to reduce your reduce the vocabulary, number of words, and try to make it more concise and focus on what your niche area of expertise is. So I think that's a very good point. And whenever I stated, LOs, I need to do some of the verbose to be reduced. It should be more focused. So each of the pillars I try to elaborate, and this is exactly what you need to do in the next 3 to 4 months, to 4 weeks. I hope Sanjay and Rajan are able to understand this.
Yep.
So I'm going to sit with you guys as well because this is I never actually ventured, but I want to really do this CITA S and see if I can. So I'm a part of
Okay.
the group which is also taking the certification.
Good.
And actually, Abhishek Lal asked me, with 27 years of experience, why are you just going for CITA S? And my answer to him was, I want to do CITA S and then see if it really, I can explain at least 50-60% of what I did in my 25 plus years of career, rather than try for a wide range and say, yes, I'm a master of everything. So it was maybe a very cautious approach from my point of sight, being a chapter leader, to at least achieve CITA S. And I have support from people like Kumaran and Sagar, who are CITA Ps. So that is the comfort that I have. I just want to do that and ensure that I can guide people in that area. So, for example, design patterns and styles was very challenging. What did I do in specific instances? How did I handle software product development? How did I handle integration projects? How did I go with legacy modernization assignments? So I had to detail some of those things which are more in terms of design patterns and design implementations. May not be complete, as I said. I need to revisit it. I hope this gives you a, better view of what you need to do, Rajan and Sanjay.
Yes, we know. We have to write a lot.
Yeah, you need to write a lot and you think before you write because you're going to be, like you said, no, you're going to get short, like Karan Johar's short questions in the end. I'm okay as long as I play tennis, but not shoot me and then I have to answer. Any other Kumaran? Any other things that you want to add to this?
Um, no, at this moment, let's just do that basic thing assignment of mentors. I think we'll get going with it.
Hmm. So you and Rajan and Sanjay will have a sitting together. You come out with an equation, how you meet, and then elaborate. I will handle the Bangalore side of it, Kumaran.
Okay.
Okay, I think we had a long discussion. It is almost nearing 4:30. It's 4:30 actually. I will share with you some of these things that I'm showing so that it will help in you building the case. But it's left to yourselves, Rajan and team.
Yep, just really good and it's really helpful, and I would really thank all of you, Kumaran, you and Sagar, who help us in uh, getting achieved. Basically, now our objective is to, I mean, yes, we have been in this profession, but would would like to compare ourselves with an architects internationally. So
Correct.
it's very yeah. So that's why we are, all of us are doing this. So I mean, I really thank to all of you for kind enough to explain in this much of detail. I really didn't expect because yes, when we are doing this kind of board review and all the stuff, mostly it is a kind of a self preparation, and
Right.
this type of mentoring is really good, and really especially thankful of this actually.
No, it's our pleasure. I'm talking on behalf of Kumaran and Sagar also. We are committed to that, Rajan. And we expect that we have the six people who are qualified by end of this year so that we have a good team of people whom we will groom in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kumaran?
Okay.
Thanks, Vinu.
Yeah,
Thanks, Vinu.
thanks, Sanjay. So, please feel free to call me anytime and we will work out this.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
So